Thank you for setting up this event. I want to take you through my strange journey about how mind mapping, how I broke the rules in the beginning. It was woefully inefficient, and how I discovered a better way, and a better way that can help you or anyone that works with you want to get more done, possibly with writing. So here's the story. The story begins with this book, looking good in print. Madeline, you like the ING, I guess. It was a very successful book. I mean, it sold over 375,000 copies in 40 languages. But that's nothing. The real thing is, for 2 years, it was the most stolen book at the Boston Public Library. that's what the great stores go to have. But it was followed by 20 plus other books that were equally held to right. Because I didn't have a system, no one told me how to organize ideas and how to write the right book. And so instead of 6 to 9 months, how was the average gestation time for me to write a book? Looking good in print probably was even a year. The last book I wrote took two Saturday afternoons. And it accomplished what it was supposed to accomplish. So basically, mind mapping was life-changing for me. It taught me how to better plan, write, promote, and profit from writing. It's not all about books, it's just from writing. And I'm going to share with you a system based on 5 mind map. It's not mind made, but it's mind map templates that can help you achieve your writing goals. So, I'm just going to, it's supposed to be in here. So we can do this legitimately. Okay. So planning your book. And one of the things, the first thing I'd like to share with you is what I call the writer's balancing act. Because writing is often treated in isolation from the other issues that are involved. Okay, and the writing success map. Reader goals plus your goals, plus your competitive advantages, plus efficiency equals success. Now, I achieved success by accident. But looking back, it seems that I did something, it hit all of these things. So this is a template for you to, when you're going to write about something. What is your reader? Who are your ideal readers? Now, here's something that your book, no matter how successful it is probably not going to be your sole source of income. You just can't depend on books. So every book has to generate income beyond it. So the first question you want to ask is, who are your ideal readers? And they're ideal because they're going to be your clients and customers tomorrow. So you never write a book for everybody. You write for a specific person that you want to deal with based on the people you've dealt with before. What are their characteristics? What is their desire for change? Writing is all about change. It's the change that the reader is going to gain by buying your book. Stephanie's book is all about change because you want to be more efficient in doing content marketing, so you buy Stephanie's book. So it's always changed. It's always based on your reader's goals and problems. And most important, now here's something that I just really realized the importance of recently. What are the steps you need to achieve the reader's goals. See, because you want to start outlining your book and getting an idea of what your book is all about as soon as possible, going down to your goals. So, but it's not enough to just write a book for your readers. It's got to suit your goals. So what is your desire to change? Do you want to be introduced to new prospects? Do you want to be taken more seriously and charge higher rates? So each of these, as a mind map, gives you the place to start answering these questions. What are your strengths? What are your platform? What are your weaknesses? What are your resources? And again, writing is not about grammar. Writing is not syntax. Writing is achieving a balance between the book you want to write and your available time and resources. But then there's another thing that's involved, and the other thing is, what are the existing books in your field? What books are already available? Who wrote them? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And out of that, how can you make your book different? So remember, writing success is based on balance. It's a balance of your readers' goals, your goals, existing books, and also efficiency. Now this is where mind mapping will be really important, as you'll see, is what needs to be done, how long will it take, how much time do you have available, what's the most efficient way to proceed, how can you create your own mini deadlines. The typical way a book is written is you are given, hypothetically, 9 months to write a book. The first third comes due in 3 months, the second third in 6 months, the third in 9 months. And it leads to procrastination. But what you want to do, and what I'm sharing in these mind maps that you will be able to download, is you create mini deadlines. Because anything that, if you tell me to do anything in 30 days, in 3 months, well, you know, likely I'm not going to start tonight. But if you give me something to do that's due Monday, you're going to get it. Probably the same thing. But I need the deadline. We all are deadline driven. So the first map is simply the map here. So let's go back to our, so we go back to this. And to help you, template 2, the best way to start writing, and it's writing anything from a blog post, is to use a simple little mind map called the Universal Writing Plan. This is for short form. And what makes it useful is it asks you questions, and it guides you through taking these first steps. Oh, I want to write a book about being a glider pilot. Well, that's nice. But why? Who are you writing it for? So do you want to write it for advanced, already glider pilots, or weekend glider pilots? And there's notes here for you to start answering. See, mind mapping is wonderful when you take action in the notes thing. It stimulates action. So as we just go through, how can you support your big idea? What's the first idea, example, feature, second idea, third idea? What's the next step you want readers to take? Every piece of content you prepare, or every book, should be a lead to your prospective ideal reader, to your ideal client. So answering these questions, just as notes, just start writing in these mind maps, will get you taking action. So that's 2 of the steps. And again, we're going quickly, but you'll be able to download these basic ones. And I take it even further for if you are going to write a book, this is the template that can help you in terms of writing this book. And it begins with the, again, questions. Questions that you can answer right in this thing. Why do you want to write a book? How will you benefit from writing a book? This is not taught in colleges. Everyone wants to be a Hemingway, but Hemingway didn't always have money. He starved. So you don't want to be that. Who are your ideal readers and what are their biggest problems? What are the titles of the leading books in your field? Just going through these questions that you will be that you can go through and answer. And I was providing you with a couple of examples. The writing questions, writing for change, bringing back that issue. The other thing that really matters, especially today, is simultaneously writing a book and promoting it. I mean, I still run into people who say, well, I'm going to write this book and I finished it. Now, Raj, they always drop the R. I wrote this wonderful book on fly fishing in the Empire State Building, but no one's buying it. And after you've written a book, it's too late to promote it. So, right in the beginning, you have to be addressing these questions. How effective is your author platform? How can you build a following and create demand for your book? Who are the authors and experts in your field that you'd like to see quoted on the cover of your book? This question is crucial, but it often is sort of left over. So, it's just a matter of taking the time, and notice the prompts that are in the answering. It comes down to profit. What are some non-traditional sales channels for your book? What type of purchase incentives? So basically, this is a bigger version or a more focused version of the balance idea. So we'll go back to our, you want to close this? Take me back to old Virginia. Do it the manual way. Okay, now we've gone this far. We need a tool. We need a tool for putting these things together. And the tool is when you're planning your book, is to use this table of contents planner, which again, I won't go through this, but this is a mind map. You have to research existing books, and to analyze very carefully using this type of template the books that are already available in your field. And this will give you the ability to write the unique book, the missing book. Because no one wants to read a different, a book that already exists. And let's see, I'm trying to just resize it so we could all see it a little bit. Guess there's it's Control minus to scale it down. Okay. So this is the mind map that you will be using or should use to analyze existing books. The existing books being the mission, the statement, what is the author's mission statement. Why did they want to write the book? Who are the ideal readers of this book, that's the existing book? The problems or goals, the reader benefits, the positioning, the introduction. And again, when you're planning your book, even go so far at this early point of just getting started with what are the points you want to make in your introduction? Or what did the author of the book that you're reading want to make? This is I encourage you, like the first presentation on hand, I encourage you when you're planning a book to start by doing it by hand. Print these out, and you can see that what this does is it gives you a structure for a 3-part book, and there are essentially 4 chapters for each thing. One of the hardest problems of the book is to break it into buckets of information. The average, you have 100 ideas, but how do you organize them into different chapters? And the way that I encourage it is to divide that into thirds. Begin with it. When you come up with a chapter you're going to write, you talk about what is the purpose of this chapter? Well, the purpose of this chapter is to A, B, C, D. And then start entering. Use this to start either writing in by hand the books. My books begin as a hand-scribbled mind map that I then elaborate on further. And you just go through it. One of the things I wanted to point out here is so we go through the chapters and the end matter. What are the things that you want in the end matter? But what I wanted to show you here is that why 3? Why should a book be divided into 3 parts? And so I give some examples of the benefits of a 3-part division of a beginning, a middle, and an end. Your book should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It can be a journey, where we are now, what's the desired future, and what are the action steps to take us through. The problem, solution, the symptoms, the action map, and building on your progress. What this is all coming to is books are not written. And by books, I mean white papers or reports or business reorganization plans. They're assembled. The writing is the easy part. The hard part is getting everything in order so that you can see it. Situation, background, options, recommendations. 3 steps to success. And, the overview, taking action. Then you have the steps to take action as different chapters. And how do you make change permanent? Let's close this. Let's see. Go back to the cycle and to just go back to where we are. Now, here is where, this is how it's used. Remember I said I went from 9 months to writing a book to 2 weekends? Well, this is where it started. This simple little map was where it started. This mind map, which I don't need to blow up, was the end of the first afternoon. I had about 37 of the 140 tips. The book's called Book Title Tweak. 140 ideas for writing, for choosing a book title. It was the first book title ever written about book titles. I'm sorry, it was the first book ever written for nonfiction titles. And after I went the next weekend, this is worth looking, because this just shows you how all of the sections were organized. So in the previous map, I just did a brain dump. I came up with 140 ideas. Now I've just organized them into sections. And the book was done. It's a lot easier way to go through life. Some of these things are problematical. How are we on time?
That's it.
Well, Raj, go home. So basically, I apologize. I just want to go back and show you two things. No, that's not. Okay. Well, this has been a train wreck. The idea is you need to do a few. This is a template to help you, and we shall take a quick look at this. This is a template that will help you, again, balance. Because every one of these series, the 4 steps involved in writing a book, there are mind maps for you to guide you through each of the steps that go into writing, promoting. A book. So it's a process. It's a process that you can do, and if you visit, I created a resource center for you that actually has the mind maps for both the samples that I've created, the 55 links to the 55 books that I've analyzed on Biggerplate, and just go to tiny URL Biggerplate. I have a free workbook, 99 questions to ask, and let's face it, writing is a matter of answering questions. It's not just coming down and having a brain dump. It's just being guided PDFs of the different maps. And so that's it. And you'll need the enter code Biggerplate. Right now, the maps that are there are for MindJet, but they'll be replaced with PDFs of the mind map, so you can see the open mind map as a PDF. So, thank you for considering writing a book to change your business, change your life. It can be a life-changing thing. I had left when I wrote Looking Good in Print. It was amazing that I went from going around to ad agencies with a resume saying I'd be a copywriter, to going around and doing lectures and speaking on Looking Good in Print, and to the desktop publishing community. So if you don't think of a book as a dream. It's not a dream. It's something you can do with the right system. And doing